It has been an incredibly busy week, the last few weeks, for the airline industry, and not in a good way. Just in the past week, fights have broken out at an airport in Florida and on a plane in Southern California. Many in the industry and out feel customer service may now be at an all-time low. We spoke about all of this and also infrastructure a few days ago with Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. First, though, I asked her about the firing of her Trump administration colleague, FBI Director James Comey. When you first heard that, what were your thoughts?
Well, that's not really in my lane, to use a highway hyperbole. From what I understand, the president acted upon the advice of the Justice Department. The president thought that it was in the best interest of the country, and so he took decisive and bold action immediately.
Let's talk about your lane. First of all, we've seen so much turmoil in the airline industry, and these images of these fights breaking out. Your thoughts assessing all of this from your vantage point?
I'm obviously very concerned about the rights of the passenger. And so to that end, the Department of Transportation has posted a passenger Bill of Rights. And for anyone that's interested, they should go on www.dot.gov. And right on the home page are passengers' Bill of Rights that tells passengers what their rights are, what recourse they have, and where can they go, including the Department of Transportation, if they have problems. But I think the most important thing is that the airlines themselves need to address this problem, and they should.
You've been charged and leading a FAA modernization effort.
We've all, as airline passengers, experienced delays, congestion in the air, and I think people are really tired of it. So this whole ATO modernization, air traffic control modernization, air traffic operations modernization, is part of this new infrastructure initiative that the president is talking about. And so he has said that we need to invest about $1 trillion over the next 10 years to address our infrastructure needs, to build it up, to repair, rebuild, and to make our country competitive again.
The stats are pretty staggering. 56,000 plus structurally deficient bridges, a little bit more than 9% of all the nation's bridges, crossings. Talking about infrastructure and then having a plan that actually is getting it across the finish line in that building behind me are two different things. Is there a timeline for this?
We've been hard at work at this, and so we'll be releasing principles in about 2 to 3 weeks, and then the legislative proposal will probably be tackled by the Congress in the third quarter. I've been there since February 1st, and in that time, we have released about 3 years worth of backlog of emergency repair funds, totaling about $760 million. And we're looking at ways in which new projects can be made to come on stream faster so that they can be funded faster and so they can be financed faster as well.
There's been talk on the financing side about a public-private partnership. Those companies or individuals who invest in that expect some return, so there has to be a tax side to it, and that gets sticky.
Or it can be a toll road or some way to pay back the investors, yes. But right now, what I've been told is that there's actually a lot of money in the private sector waiting and eager to invest in public infrastructure.
So back to the scheduling. You saw health care and what it took to get it across the finish line in the House, still pending in the Senate. Tax reform, we don't know a timeline on that. It is tough to fit it all in. As you imagine infrastructure, do you say it's a 2018 thing? Is it a 2019 thing?
Well, we hope not. We hope to tackle it with the consent of Congress in the third quarter, and I don't think our country can wait. I think both Democrats and Republicans want to have a better infrastructure. We're talking about how to pay for it, and that will include $200 billion of direct federal funding, some kind of public-private partnerships, perhaps something from the tax reform bill, we don't know yet, and probably maybe some sale of government assets as well. But it will look at some more innovative and creative ways of financing these infrastructure needs.
Last thing, when you read a story or see a story on television about what some reporter calls chaos inside the White House or the operations inside the White House, From your vantage point, what do you see and how does it run?
You know, every White House is different. And every White House, when they first come into government, has a period of adjustment. And so that's what's happening here. I don't see any different from previous White Houses. So there are very good people serving, you know, in this administration. And I think that the public should be very reassured that they have a good team leading this country.
Madam Secretary, thanks for the time.
Thank you.